He's going to pick this ball up, but he's going to lay it off into the path of Messi. Messi's going to strike with his right, and he strikes into the back of the net, and Messi just cannot stop scoring. So today we're going to be starting a brand new career mode with the one and only PSG. They are without doubt the biggest club in French football with over 40 trophies to their name, but we're going to try and do something that they have not been able to do in real life, and of course, that is to win the Champions League. We're also going to be looking to change the culture of PSG as well. Their youth development is pretty low at the moment, but for this career mode, we're going to keep it realistic, and we're going to try and start investing in young youth players and seeing if we can develop them and bring them up through the academy. Okay, so FIFA have got us playing as a 5-2-3, but let's head over to the squad hub and let's see what sort of players we've got to work with. So Gianluigi Donnarumma and Keylor Navas, two of the best goalkeepers on the game. Absolutely nothing more needs to be said about that. Those two will definitely be staying. As for a 76 rated Sergio Rico and a 68 rated Letelier, I'm not too sure whether or not we're going to need 4 goalkeepers at the club, so I'm thinking I'm going to add both of those to the transfer list. So next up at left back, we've got an 80 rated Nuno Mendes, we've got a 78 rated Juan Bernat, and we've got a 75 rated Kazawa who's on loan at Fulham. So I'm definitely thinking I'm going to stick with Nuno Mendes as my number one choice at left back for now. He's got bags of potential and he's got bags of acceleration and pace as well. As for a 78 rated Juan Bernat, he's 29 years old. He's not going to get any better than he is, so I'm going to have a look through the rest of the squad and then make a decision at the end whether I'm going to stick him on the transfer list. So who have we got at centre back? Of course, we've got the big man Sergio Ramos. We've got an 88 rated Marquinhos. We've got a 77 rated Diallo. We've got a 62 rated Bitshayabu, aged 18, and we've got an 83 rated Kimpembe. So obviously looking at Kimpembe, looking at Marquinhos, and looking at Sergio Ramos, they're obviously going to be the cornerstones of my defence. But at 36 years old, I'm not quite sure how quick his decline is going to be. And looking at his development plan, looks like he's going to go down to 83 within 4 weeks. Even if I change his development plan to say sweeper or ball-playing defender, I'm only going to extend that by 1 week. So I'm going to change it to ball-playing defender, but I'm definitely going to have to dip my toes in the transfer market for a centre-back to potentially look to replace an ageing Sergio Ramos. Marquinhos, of course, he'll stay, and Kimpembe has to stay as well. So that just leaves us with a 17-year-old, 6'5", 62 rated, 4th choice centre-back in Bitshayabu, and I think I'm probably going to start by adding him to the loan list. And so with only 3 potential first choice centre-backs to choose from, I'm definitely going to have to look to add a centre-back to the top of my transfer market list. Okay, so right back, Achraf Hakimi, 84 rated, that's a no-brainer. I've got a 74 rated Colin Dagba, who's on loan at Strasbourg. I've got a 19-year-old 70 rated Pembele, who apparently is showing great potential, so he is going straight on the loan list. And I've got a 79 rated Nordi Mukele, who can play both at right back and centre back as well. So similar to my left back position, I've definitely got an out-and-out starter, and I'm going to see how the rest of the squad pans out as to whether or not I'm going to need to bring in another wing back. Okay, so we've only got 2 central midfield positions to fill, but we have an absolute bunch of them at the club, starting with a 30-year-old Danilo Pereira. We've got an 80 rated Leandro Paredes, who surprisingly is on loan at Juve. We've got the main man himself, Marco Verratti, 87 rated, absolutely no question here. He is our number 1 starter. We've got a 22-year-old Vitina, a 19-year-old Mishu on loan at Sunderland, an 80 rated Renato Sanchez. We've got a 26-year-old 83 rated Fabian Ruiz, and we've also got a 25 rated, 83 rated as well, Carlos Soler. And of course we've also got Wijnaldum and Ander Herrera, both on loan as well. So I'm thinking with a decent rating, but he's 30 years old, and with the amount of central midfielders we've got at the club, Danilo Pereira is going to be the first midfielder I'm going to stick on the transfer list. Now Vitina is the interesting one. He's age 22, he's rated 79, and he's got loads of potential as well. And I think in the long term, he will probably outgrow the likes of Fabian Ruiz and also Carlos Soler. But for now, I'm not quite sure whether or not he's going to get straight into my starting 11. So out of him and the others, I think I'm going to keep the others, and I'm going to stick him on the loan list for this season. So next up, we've got the left wingers. We've got Julian Draxler. He's out on loan at Benfica. We've got an 18-year-old, 64 rated Ismail Garbi, who of course is never going to get in our first team. So he's obviously going to have to go straight on the loan list. Now, of course, we've got an 89 rated Neymar at the club, but with the likes of Julian Draxler out on loan at Benfica and a young player, Gahabi, who's going to go out on loan, Neymar will then be the only left winger we're going to have at the club. So along with a centre-back, a left winger is definitely going to be a high priority this summer. And onto the right wing, we've got Pablo Sarabia, and of course, we've got just some guy called Messi. I think we're pretty well stocked in terms of our options at right wing. Now up front's an interesting one because we've got Kylian Mbappe, who's obviously one of the world's best, but we've also got a young striker in Hugo Ekitike, who we've got on loan at the moment, who's rated 76. Now I'm thinking to stick with Ekitike until we get to January, see how he gets on coming off the bench or even playing in fringe games, and if he does pretty well, then maybe considering approach to buy him at the end of the season. And if he doesn't do very well, well then we can always look to maybe try and recall Icardi, or even look to go big on a striker in the January transfer window. So to sum up, we've got Letelier, we've got Danilo Pereira, and we've got Sergio Rico all out on the transfer list, as well as Vitina, Pembele, Bitshayabu and Gahabi all out on the loan list as well. And in terms of who we're going to look to bring in, we're definitely going to look to bring in at least one, maybe even two centre-backs, as we literally have no backup whatsoever for any of these three. We're definitely going to bring someone in at left wing to try and rival Neymar, and then depending on how much money we've got left at the end of the window, we might even try and look to see if we can upgrade ourselves at left back as well. But just before we start taking a look at some of our transfer business, I want to actually take a quick look over at some of the tactics that we're going to be using this season. And starting with our defensive style, of course, we want to be pressing after a possession loss. I think the width and the depth is pretty good. In terms of our offense, we do not want to be building up slow. We want fast build up, of course we do. Chance creation, I'm pretty happy with possession. But with Neymar and Messi out wide in the wings, we definitely want more than 40 width. So I'm going to whip this one right the way up to about 70, and that is something I'm feeling pretty comfortable with. And as for all of our set piece takers, I'm really sorry, Neymar, but I want Messi on absolutely everything. So let's take a quick look at the board objectives. I mentioned at the start that youth development for PSG is a pretty low priority. That is something we definitely want to change the culture on. That is why I'm so keen to send out quite a lot of my players on loan. I will also be looking at our youth academy, and I will be planning to send some scouts out to try and find some younger players, so definitely worth keeping your eye on that one. And of course, no surprise with the domestic and continental success, it's essentially win absolutely everything. Greetings from Marquinhos, wants to welcome me on behalf of the whole team to PSG. Well, thank you very much. I think the future is pretty exciting. Okay, so we've got our first transfer offer of the summer, and it's actually for someone who I'm not too keen on selling, Pablo Sarabia. It's a loan to buy offer from Leipzig, so not really something that I'm looking to sort out at the moment, so I'm going to go ahead and reject that one. Okay, so next offer we've got is a loan offer from Middlesbrough, of all people, for Ismail Gahabi, and that's for a one-year deal, so 100% very happy with that. Going to go ahead and accept. And there we go, Gahabi, first man out the door on loan to Middlesbrough. It's a 12-month loan deal. I'm pretty happy with that. So we finally got our first proper transfer offer of the season, and it's 640k for Letelier, so it's above his market value. I'm pretty happy with that. Not going to bother to negotiate. I'm just going to go ahead and accept. Okay, so this is really weird. A 2-year loan offer from Barcelona for Vitina. I don't really see the point in doing this, to be completely honest, because he's not going to get any game time if he goes there, so that's going to be a hard no. I tell you what, the loan offers are coming thick and fast in this game. I've got another one now for Bitshayabu. This time, this is a loan to buy offer, so I definitely don't want to sell him, so I'm probably going to keep it as a loan, try and negotiate with my assistant manager, and see whether or not they'll accept that instead. Okay, so we've got another 2-year loan offer, this time from Spurs, so I'm a little bit more open to negotiating this one. I did actually mean to delegate this to my assistant manager, to be completely honest, so I'm only going to propose a 1-year loan though. They wanted a 40-60 split. I'm pretty happy with that. Gets him out on loan. 1-year deal. Happy days. And he accepts the deal from Spurs. I think these cutscenes are a bit weird. It almost seems like they're being marched out the door. But a 1-year loan deal to Spurs, and I think that'll be really, really good for his development. But with 197 million to spend, it's time to stop focusing on the outgoings and start focusing on the incomings. So we're going to start at centre-back, and as I said, I've only got 3 centre-backs currently at the club, so I'm in desperate need of at least 1, probably even 2 as well. So you can see the types of centre-backs I'm starting to shortlist. The likes of Tomori, Gvardiol, William Saliba from Arsenal, Lacroix, Simakan, and even a 25-year-old Robin Lenormand from Sociedad. Now, to be completely honest, the likes of Tomori and also Lenormand, they're 24, they're 25 as well. They're kind of a bit left field, and I'm thinking I'm probably more likely to go with the likes of Simakan, Lacroix, Saliba, Gvardiol as well, because they're younger players and they've got far more room to develop. So when I was scouting Lacroix and then also looking at Simakan as well, I was kind of hoping the two of them would have a little bit better rating than 77 and 78 as well. So with that in mind, I'm thinking I'm going to put an offer in for both Gvardiol and also William Saliba as well. It gives us a good balance between a left footer and a right footer, and they've both got loads of potential to develop as well. Okay, here we go. First negotiation with Gvardiol, and my scout said I could get him for 56.7 mil. So I'm just going to go straight in with that offer and see what they say. Okay, so they don't want that. They want 67.9, and they want a 10% of any transfer fee that we sell him for. Okay, so I'm going to counter that, remove the sell-on clause, propose a new transfer fee, and I think, you know what? I'm going to leave it at 67 mil. Boom. There's no writing, but clearly they've accepted it, so let's move on to the contracts. Now, I've noticed with my board objectives, the board want me to sign 3 crucial players, so although I don't necessarily see him as a crucial player right now, I'm going to go ahead and offer him a crucial status and see whether or not he accepts it. Okay, he's happy with that. Okay, so they want to talk about his salary. Now, I can see he's on 35 mil, so I'm going to go ahead and offer him 45. That should be enough, and a signing bonus of, let's say, 400 grand, and let's see whether or not he accepts it. Boom, there we go. Reasonable offer, first summer transfer through the door, and his name is Gvardiol. Man, that PSG kit looks good, and to tell you what, it looks even better on him. 67.9 mil in the door, first transfer of the summer. I am very, very happy with that one. Right, next up, William Saliba. Scouts think I can get it for 35.3 mil. Let's get going. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to offer 35. instead, and hopefully that'll be enough to seal the deal. Happy days, straight away, no more negotiation, happy with that. It's time to move on to the contracts. Right, so although he wants rotation, I'm going to do the same thing as I did for Gavardio, and I'm going to offer him a crucial role and just see what he says. Okay, he's happy with that. Okay, so he wants a release clause of 87.1. He's not really interested in negotiating it either, so I'm just going to have to go ahead and accept it. And finally, salary. He's on 49.5 mil at the moment. I'm going to go ahead and offer him 60. Signing bonus of 400 as well. Hopefully that should be enough. And as you can see, it very much was enough. William Saliba, our second signing of the summer transfer window. And that is 35 mil from Arsenal. And based on how he's playing this season in real life for Arsenal, the board might not think it's a good buy, but I definitely think it's a massive bargain. And finally, we have our first transfer offer. It's a 6.2 mil offer from Florentina for Sergio Rico. He's only worth 5.5 mil, so I'm not even going to bother negotiating. Straight away accept it. And if he accepts, he will be the first man permanently out the door this summer. And as you can see, he does accept. Marched out the door just like Vitinha was. An extra 6 mil in the bank account for this summer. We have our first outgoing of the summer. Okay, so last signing we're going to make before the start of the first game of the season is at left wing, and we've got 3 different options. We've got Rafael Leao, we've got an 84 rated Federico Chiesa, and we've got an 83 rated Cody Gakpo. Now I can pick up Cody for 53.4 mil. Chiesa's going to cost me a little bit more. He's around 70.5, and I think Leao is going to cost me around 64.9. So it's kind of a toss up between the 3 of them. I'm thinking in terms of stats, Rafael Leao, he's got 92 pace, Federico Chiesa's got 91, and Gakpo's got 87. So they're all pretty similar in terms of who potentially I might go for. The main thing that's really making me think is this right here: attacking work rate and defensive work rate. Now, Rafael Leao, he's got medium attacking and defensive is low. Gakpo's got medium for both, whereas Chiesa has got high attacking and medium defensive work as well. So I'm thinking for now, I'm going to put an offer in for Chiesa. He is going to be more expensive, but in the long run, I think he might be the best option. And just like my scout said, I'm going to go straight in 70.5 mil. Let's see whether or not they accept it. Okay, so they want to let him go for 52.7, but they want Kimpembe as part of the deal. Okay, that is a definite no. Let's remove him from the deal and we'll propose a new transfer fee. Okay, so we'll put together 72.5 mil as an offer, and they are pretty happy with that. So that is another one in the door, providing he accepts a contract, which I'm pretty hopeful he will. Now this is really weird because I was going to offer him a crucial role because I was thinking, coming from Juventus as a big name player, he will definitely want to start every single game, but for some reason his agent only wants to offer him a squad role of sporadic, so this is a bit odd. And in terms of wages, he wants 81,000 a week and a signing bonus of 700. Happy to accept that, no problem. And there we go, Federico Chiesa, our third and most expensive signing of the summer so far, and some would argue definitely our best. And it's on to the press conference for our first game of the season in the Trophee des Champions. And they're starting off pretty negative, to be completely honest, because they're asking me why I'm sticking with Ramos. Well, he just needs games to get his form back. And here we go then, first game of the new season. And as you can see, I'm sticking with the usual PSG starting 11. The likes of Chiesa, Gavardio and Saliba are going to have to start on the bench. So Verratti now has it in the middle of the park. We've got options to his left. Looks for Soler, and I'm going to look for Nuno Mendes on the left-hand side. I was hoping that Neymar would go down the left, but instead he's able to pick out Mendes. It's not the best ball though. Mohamed now for Nantes. He's going to try and do the dance around Marquinhos. Marquinhos just cannot seem to get hold of him. Verratti is there, loses it to Sissoko. Sergio Ramos is there with the challenge. Neymar lays that off to Verratti. I'm going to try and look for Hakimi on the right-hand side, and I do find him. Can I swing a ball in? I can. Mbappe's there. Verratti now for PSG. Lays it into the path of Messi. This is his first real touch of the game. Goes past the defender and strikes. Great save. Messi with the corner. 23 minutes played. Goes to the near post. Doesn't quite make it. Verratti now has it. Lays it all the way back out to Messi. Going to try and find a ball in. He does. Can Mbappe get there? No, he can't. Verratti now has it once again into Messi. I'm going to try and look for the ball to Hakimi, but instead I'm going to turn and get it on his left. And Messi easily goes past 2 defenders and he smashes it into the back of the net. It is too easy for Messi, and once again he shows his class. It's 1-0 here. Nicely away from the midfielder. Drives through. Where on earth are the Nantes midfielders? No idea. He strikes from distance, and that's a bit of a wayward shot. Coco now has it, driving into a box on the right-hand side. Kimpembe gets beaten. They lay it back off. Coco has it once again, and they lay it back off once again. Nantes playing some really good football. Kimpembe does win the ball back though. Lays that into Mohamed, the striker. He tries to lay it off, but Nuno Mendes reads it well, and then almost, oh my word, gives it away. Going to try and check back into Mbappe, who's been pretty quiet so far in this game, it has to be said, but he gets it back once again and he strikes from distance and he's blocked by his own player. Going to just try and put this out wide to the left-hand side to Neymar. He is in acres of space on this left-hand side. Just got to try and find the right ball. We find a great ball across, and it's a wonderful goal. And it is that man, Messi, once again. Oh, nice stuff. Messi again, pressing high. Gives that to Mbappe. Mbappe can't get round the defender. Going to try and lay this off to Messi. Messi going to strike first time. Good save. Going to be Messi with the corner. He tries to put it in low. It's not the best corner, to be completely honest. Renato Sanchez, a substitute, will win that. Kimpembe now. Back up wide to Messi. Tries to shift it onto his left. Gets past one defender. Gets past two. Oh, my word. Messi is still unbelievable on this game. And he's going to put in a really good corner. We get our head to it, and it's a great save to Renato Sanchez. He finds Marquinhos, who finds himself out wide on the right wing. Going to try and lay this back in. Gives it to Ruiz, the substitute, straight at the goalkeeper. Oh, what on earth are Nantes doing at the back? Messi now has it. Shifts it onto his left. Still going. Tries to shoot. It's a brilliant goal. And it's a brilliant hat-trick. It's 3-0 here, and we have absolutely ripped them apart. Going to try and look for Neymar again. Can I find him? Just about. He tries to lay it off into the path of Ruiz. Shifts it onto his right. Gonna finesse the shot. And in the end, the keeper pulls off a pretty decent save by Saliba. But Kimpembe gets there. And that is the end of the game. It's 3-0 here. It's our first trophy of the season in a game that we absolutely dominated. And here we go then. We celebrate. What a way to start Season 1 and Episode 1. It's the first time I've actually won a trophy on FIFA 23. For anyone who was following my Leeds United career mode will know that we bottled it at every opportunity we had. But Marquinhos is going to step up for a PSG team that did not bottle it today. And he is going to lift the Trophee des Champions, and he crowns us winners. The players celebrate, I celebrate. It's our first trophy of the season. What a way to kick this season off. And the good news just keeps on getting better, because we've just had a transfer offer from Aston Villa, and it's a huge one for Danilo Pereira, 18.3 mil. His market value is only 15 mil, so I'm not even going to bother negotiating that. Straight away accept it. But just before we see whether or not he accepts that offer, it is time for our very first league game of the episode. And I'm going to make one change to the team that won the Trophee des Champions. Saliba comes in for Sergio Ramos for his PSG debut. Lee Meliou picks this one up in the centre of the park. Lays it off to Slimani. He now has Saliba trying to chase him down. Saliba can't quite make the challenge, but Kimpembe can instead. 13 minutes in, Verratti now has it on the right-hand side. Going to check back in to find Mbappe. Mbappe going to look for the ball through to Messi, just blocked off. Verratti picks this one up in the centre of the park. Going to look for an unmarked Neymar. Going to twist and turn, try and get around the defender. And get around the defender we do. Going to try and get it onto our right. Going to finesse this one. And off the bar. Can we get the rebound? And it's great save. Right, we've got a free kick here. 44 minutes played. I'm pretty useless with free kicks, so I'm going to go short to Saliba. Saliba's going to look for Mbappe. He's going to go out wide to Neymar. Neymar's going to try and cut back in on his right and do the same thing he did earlier. It's a finesse. It's another big save. 54 minutes in, looks like Mbappe is almost going to be clean through on goal here. He's going to pick this ball up, but he's going to lay it off into the path of Messi. Messi's going to strike with his right, and he strikes into the back of the net, and Messi just cannot stop scoring. 3 against Nantes, 1 against Brest, and we lead here 1-0. Oh, ball over the top to Slimani. Where on earth are my defence? Hakimi is now the only man back, and it's a wonderful challenge. Nuno Mendes into Ruiz. Ruiz is going to try and lay this off to Messi. It was a poor ball, but it doesn't matter. The game is finished, and we get the job done. It's a 1-0 win here. Messi with the goal, and it's a well-deserved 3 points. And Pereira accepts the Aston Villa contract. It's a big transfer out, but at 18.3 mil for a declining 30-year-old, the board might not think it, but I think that's a pretty good deal. It's Nice up next in the league, and as you can see from my starting 11, no changes whatsoever to the team that won our first game of the season. 21 minutes in, looks like we've got a counter-attack, and it looks like it's Verratti who's going to pick this one up, and it looks like there's a lot of options on this left-hand side. It's a ball over the top. I was looking for Neymar, but instead Mbappe ends up trying to go for it, and he lays it off to Messi. Lovely turn around the defender. Messi to strike straight against the goalkeeper. It's a Nice free kick, 28 minutes in the game. Right on the edge of the line there. Looks like they're going to throw this one in. They do. Can we head this away? We can't. Donnarumma's there to save. We now have our own set piece though. Messi, of course, to take this one, and I'm going to try and throw this right into the penalty spot. It goes into the 6-yard area instead, and it's off the post. Verratti on the right-hand side. He does have options in the centre, but can he pick out the right one? Instead, I'm going to turn, try and lay this off to Messi, trying to get it onto his left. He's blocked off. Messi now picks this one up in a dangerous position, trying to look for the ball out wide to Hakimi. Hakimi manages to get hold of it, drives into the box, plays this one across, and it's great defending. 85 minutes in, we've got another opportunity to counter-attack, and it's Verratti who picks the ball up. lays this off to Messi. Messi's going to cut inside to Mbappe. Mbappe turns to get it onto his right, gives it to Verratti. It's a poor touch. And that's it. It's game over here at home against Nice. It's a really disappointing 0-0 in the end. We had opportunities to score. We didn't take them. Now, this is really interesting because I've just got an £8.5 million transfer offer from Borussia Dortmund for Sergio Ramos. Now, I wasn't really planning on selling Sergio Ramos this summer, but if we take a look at his development plan, he's already gone down from 84 to 83, and he's only got 6 weeks left until he's going to go down to 82. So I'm thinking, you know what, it might not be such a bad idea to sell him after all. Okay, so they're offering me 8.5 mil. I'm going to go for 9 mil, and I'm going to see whether or not they're going to accept it. Okay, so they won't accept it, only 8.5 mil. But you know what, I'm going to accept that. He's 36 years of age, he's only got 12 years left on his contract, he's in decline, why not? Now obviously if I do sell Ramos, that will only really leave me with 4 centre-backs at the club that I can actually play. I'll see how I get on with the other 4 centre-backs at the club, but if push comes to shove and I have to have a 5th one, rather than buy one, I might just decide to recall this guy from his loan. And he does accept the offer. Sergio Ramos will leave PSG for 8.5 million. And I'm not going to lie, he's looking pretty disappointed about it. It's not really something I had planned this summer, but when Borussia Dortmund offer you 8.5 mil for an ageing centre-back on the decline, it's not really something you can turn down. And the transfers on FIFA just keep getting weirder and weirder. I've now got an offer from Villarreal for 31.8 mil plus a swap deal with Coquelin. I'm afraid, Villarreal, that is going to be a hard no. Next up in the league is Marseille away, and as you can see, no changes to my starting 11. 13 minutes in, we've got our first attack of the game, and it's Soler who picks this one up. I'm going to lay this out wide to Neymar. Neymar's going to shift back onto his left, try and cut into the box, but the angle is cut off. Instead, I'm going to try and shift it onto my right, and then look for the on-rushing Mendes, but I think he's offside. Yes, he is. Verratti with the ball, 23 minutes in, straight ahead. I can already see Mbappe unmarked, and instead he decides to pass it to Soler, but Mbappe eventually gets there. Now Messi has it on the right-hand side, checks it on to his left foot, going to go for the finesse. Marseille still have it though, into Payet. They have it back once again. The sun is absolutely killing me here. Can my goalkeeper get out in time? He can, just about. Verratti finds himself on the right-hand side. It's a horrendous touch, but it's a brilliant ball into Mbappe, and it's 1-0 PSG. What a ball into Mbappe, and it's a fine finish. It's his first goal of the season. It's our first goal of the game. We lead here at Marseille 1-0. 69 minutes in, Mbappe looks like he's got a one-on-one opportunity, but it looks like he's got Neymar and Messi either side of him. He lays it off to Messi on the left-hand side. Messi puts it onto his left, and he puts it into the back of the net. Messi is unbelievable. And 71 minutes in, looks like we've got another counter-attacking opportunity, and this time it's Neymar who picks it up on the left-hand side. Going to try and drive into the box. Going to try and shift it onto my right. Go for the finesse. It's a brilliant save. Can Messi get there? He can. Great block. Kimpembe now has to defend one-on-one, but our defenders are rushing back as quickly as they can. Kimpembe trying to hold him up, but it's good defending, but it's even better attacking because he still manages to have the ball. It's a brilliant ball, and it's an even better save from Donnarumma. And in the 87th minute, Messi has the chance to finish this game off for us. I'm going to go straight down the middle here. Hopefully the goalkeeper dives. What on earth was that? It just stopped working. That was very weird. Well, that was really odd. I'm assuming the goalkeeper didn't dive and it was saved, but it just stopped the highlight, which was very, very strange. But we get the win in the end. It's 2-0 here, and it's another 3 points in the bag. Now, I said at the start of the episode, we're going to change the culture here at PSG, and we are going to focus a lot more on youth development than they normally do. And with that in mind, it's of course time to set up our youth scouting network. So first things first, we do obviously have a French scout, and we are a French team, so I'm going to set up a French scouting network, and I'm just going to look for any type of player whatsoever. Now, we do of course have the main man Messi in our squad, and I do think it's only right that we start our quest to try and find the next Messi. But for this one, rather than just look for someone who's just purely an attacker, I'm going to go slightly different, and I'm going to go for technically gifted instead. And for the final one, of course, it's back to South America, and I've said that we're looking for the next Messi. It's only right that we start looking for the next Neymar, so we're going to go straight to Brazil, and we're going to look for an attacker to see if we can unearth the next Brazilian gem. And it's on to the final game of the episode, and as you can see, I have made a couple of changes to my starting 11. Gvardiol comes in for Saliba for his debut, and Ruiz comes in central midfield for Carlos Soler. And what a way to finish. A 5-1 win against Lens. Kimpembe on the score sheet twice, and Messi, of course, gets himself a hat-trick. And after our first 4 games, we sit top of the table, 10 points, 3 points clear of Monaco in second. And with our Champions League journey set to start very soon, you definitely want to stick around for the rest of the career mode. But if you have thought this episode was absolutely excellent, please feel free to like and subscribe. It will do the channel a world of good, and I'll see you again next time.